Okay, now we're going to use this for something. These are 4 terms, all of them, but it's prime. Okay, if I do that grouping, it's not going to work because those 2 parentheses in the middle step won't be the same. So we're going to start off, first off, by me giving you the first solution and then you performing synthetic division to find the other 2. Okay, so this equation, I think there are 3 answers. And one of the answers is 10. Okay, it says given the fact that 10 is one of the solutions. What I need to do once I get one solution, and you're like, well, how do you get the one solution without you telling us? We'll get to that later. So since I know one of them's 10, my divisor's 10. And then what I do is I set up the coefficients. I don't put x's, just the coefficients. So I start with 4, negative 25, negative 154, and then 140. Okay, so I'm going to drop the 4. 4 times 10 is 40. Remember, we're adding. And that's going to be 15. 15 times 10 is 150. Negative 4 times 10 is negative. Or, sorry, that's not 140. That needs to be just 40. Sorry, not 140. It's 40. Okay. 10 times negative 4 is negative 40. And that gives me 0. Now, here's what that accomplished. You're wondering in the other packet, what's the point of that? When you divide synthetically, it takes the x to the third to an x to the second, okay? Plus 15x, and then that's my constant, okay? Just put minus 4. Don't be putting pluses. If you have a negative, it's just minus. So my new equation is 4x squared plus 15x minus 4 equals 0. Okay, that's your new equation. So that's 3 terms. First I'll look for a GCF. Then I will set up my T-chart. Okay, looking through that, I don't believe we have a GCF. You don't have a negative, you don't have x on everything, so cross that out. And then 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. And a difference of 15. And that is going to be 1 and 16. So I find it. Is A 1? No, it's not. A equals 4, so we need 4 parentheses. So I lead off with my A, which is 4. And then x to the second, so I go x, x, and then 1 and 16. So I have plus 15x, so it means you got to have plus 16 for sure. And difference is minus. That can't be reduced. We can reduce that by 4. Okay, so it's 1x plus 4. Now I can get my other 2 answers. So 4x minus 1 can equal 0, or 1x plus 4 could equal 0. So I plus 1, 4x equals 1, divide by 4. So I get 1/4 as my second answer. And negative 4 for my third. Okay, next one. 3 answers. Given the fact that 9's one of the answers, find the other 2. So since I have an answer here, I'm going to synthetically divide by 9. That's my divisor. So I have 2, negative 10, negative 71, and negative 9. So I drop him. 2 times 9 is 18. Then we add. So that's 8. 8 times 9 is 72. Then we add. That's 1. 1 times 9 is 9. Then I get 0. Okay, so here's my new equation. That 2 is now 2x squared plus 8x plus 1 equals 0. So now I factor the 3 terms if I can. GCF and the T-table. You want to do that setup over here so you leave some room. So GCF, I ain't got one. Okay, so 2 times 1 is positive 2, sum of 8, but There's no way that's a sum of 8, so you need to use your quadratic formula. So opposite of b plus or minus the square root, b squared, so 8 minus, and then 3 straight parentheses, and 4, 2, and 1 over 2a, so 2 times 2 is 4. Okay? So I've got negative 8 plus or minus, and then 4. Now, I want to find something I can put there so I can add and divide by 4, and then subtract and divide by 4. So I encourage you to punch it in on your calculator. So second square root, double the parentheses to begin with, 8 second minus 4, 2, and 1. Okay, I got 7.48, okay? If your calculator doesn't do that, what you're going to need to do is take 8 times 8 and then 4 times 2 times 1. So it's going to be 64 minus, and then that's 8. That's 56. Now I want the 56 square rooted. It's not negative, so you can square root that. 7.48. Okay, so negative 8 plus 7.48 equals, and then divide by 4, and that's negative 0.13. Negative 8 minus 7.48, divide by 4, and that's going to be negative 3.87. Remember, if your calculator would say domain error, it means you got to do it this way and bring the I out and the double square roots. But I don't think I put any like that on here. Okay. Okay, given the fact that negative 4 is one of the solutions of that equation, find the other two. Okay, so negative 4, and then I synthetically divide by the negative 4. So I have 1, that's a 1. 6, 5, and then negative 12. Remember, to get the negatives, it's got a minus, it's a negative. So 1 times negative 4 is negative 4, then I add. That's 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, then we add. And that's 12. Okay, so I get 0. So that I have 1x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. When you synthetically divide, it takes your equation and simplifies it down into a quadratic, from a cube to a quadratic, 2 of them. Okay, so GCF and the T-chart. Okay, GCF, you don't have one. You're probably not going to have one either, to be honest with you. But you do need to tee it up. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. Difference of 2. 1 and 3, got it. Is A 1 over here? Sure it is. So I just need 2 parentheses. It's x second, so it's xx, 1, 3. So I've got plus 2x, so plus 3 for sure, and difference is minus, okay? So x minus 1 could equal 0. X plus 3 could equal 0. So I plus 1, I get 1. Minus 3, I get negative 3. Okay, next one. Given the fact that 8 is one of the solutions, find the other two. So it says 8's one of them, so I'll be synthetically dividing by 8. So 1, negative 2, negative 40, and negative 64. 1 times 8's 8, so I add, and that's going to be 6. Add, you get 8, and then 64. Okay, so what's your new equation? It's now 1x to the second power. It goes from a third power equation to a second. Plus 6x plus 8 equals 0. So 3 terms, GCF, but we don't have one. Then the T-chart. Remember, if the T-chart doesn't work, you always got your song. Okay. So 1 times 8 is positive 8, sum of 6, 1, 8, 2, 4, bingo. Okay. Is A equal to 1? Yes. So I just need 2 parentheses. So XX, 2, 4. So we got plus 6x. So you got to have plus 4 for sure. And a sum would mean they're both plus. So x plus 2 could equal 0, or x plus 4 could equal 0. So I have negative 2, and I've got negative 4. Good, and then I'm going to do these next two with you, leave you with 4. Okay? Find the algebraic expression of the other two dimensions. Okay. One of the dimensions is x plus 4, and the volume equals this. Okay. One of the expressions is x plus 4. We got to find what the other two are. So there's 3 solutions. So if x plus 4 is one of the dimensions, I set that equal to 0, and then I solve. So negative 4 is one of our solutions. So then I will be synthetically dividing by negative 4, and my coefficients are 2, 17, 46, and 40. Negative 8, then I add 9. 9 times negative 4 is negative 36. That's 10, and then 10 times negative 4 is negative 40. So my new equation is 2x squared plus 9x plus 10 equals 0. So there is no GCF, so we're just going to go right to our T table. 2 times 10 is 20, positive, so sum of 9, and I get that because it's 4 times 5. Now is A equal to 1? No. A is equal to 2, so I should use 4 parentheses to factor this appropriately. So if A is 2, you lead off, then XX, and then 4 and 5. So I get plus 9x, so plus 5 for sure, and sum is plus. You can divide that by 2, so it's going to be 1x plus 2, or x plus 2, and that'll stay the same. Okay? All right, now here's what you do. I could solve it, but these are actually my 2 dimensions, okay? X plus 2 and 2x plus 5. Next problem, same idea. So I take the x plus 6, set that equal to 0, so I take 6 away. Because it's like I'm dividing by the x plus 6, if I know that's one of them. Okay, so my divisor is negative 6, so I've got 1, 13, 34, negative 48. So negative 6, and then I add that 7. 7 times negative 6, negative 42. Negative 8, and then I got 48. So 1x squared, okay, 1x squared plus 7x minus 8 equals 0. Now, you're just looking for the dimension, so all you really have to do is factor it, okay? So my T-chart does that for me. So 1 times negative 8 is negative 8, and we're looking for a difference that would equal 7. Bingo. Is A equal to 1? Yeah, it is. So I just need 2 parentheses. So XX, and then 1 and 8. So plus on the 8, minus on the 1. Now, those are my dimensions, okay? So x minus 1 is a dimension, and x plus 8 is the other dimension, okay?